Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Morgan. So I am back to actually doing makeup again after last week. I've decided to do a full face of Vieve. It's coming a little bit late because Vieve have just released 4 new quad eyeshadow palettes and I don't have any of them and I don't have any money. So I'm going to be using my old, it's not old, I'm going to be using my other Vieve palette. I'm going to use the essential one for this look. But I'm going to be using all new Vieve products that I haven't used before as well on this channel, and just letting you know how I feel about them. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please like and subscribe, it would really mean the world to me. All my social media is linked down below if you want to have a little nosy. But yeah, so I'm going to start off with my primer, so I'm going to use the Skin Nova, and I'm just going to pop just a little bit on and just push that into my skin. And then what I'm going to do under my foundation is going with the Skin Dew. So the reason I put it under my foundation is because it's just a bit darker than my actual skin tone. So it's a bit darker than my actual skin tone, so I don't like to put it on top because it just looks a bit orange on my foundation. But I just think it gives like a really nice glow under the skin. And mixed with the Skin Nova, like the primer, it does give you a really glowy look. So I'm just going to do that. And then because I don't have, they don't have a foundation, I'm going to go in with my KVD Beauty Good Apple. So what I am going to do is just get a little bit on my sponge and just push that into my skin. This is the only foundation I really use a sponge for now, just because if you use a brush you tend to just get a bit too much product, and I don't need too much. Because I've went in quite lightly with my foundation as well, you can still see the glow underneath my skin. Just going over my eyebrows. That's all I'm going to do for foundation. I think that's enough. I'm going to go in with my concealer when I find it. I don't know if it has a name, but it's a KVD concealer. It's lightweight, full coverage. So I'm just going to pop some on my under eye and just doing 2 little dots, and I'm bringing the line up. I'm going to put some around my nose, and I do have a spot coming in there, so I'm just going to put a little bit extra. I'm just putting a tiny dot on any blemishes I've got just now, and then some on my forehead. I have a lot of stress spots just now, so it is a lot more. My skin's not as clear as it has been in the past, but I'm just going to blend that in. And I'm just going to blend the under eye last. And again, normally I would actually use a brush for this, but it's just because I've got my sponge out. And when I'm blending this out, I'm just bringing it up as towards my temple as well, just to lift my face. Kind of making sure to get it right in the inner corner as well, because that's where my that's the darkest part of my eye bags, just like that. So the skin is still super glowy, still super nice. And for my last cream product, I'm going to go in with the Sunset Blush Balm in Cherub. I do want to get a couple more of these, but Cherub I think is my favourite. I love the pink blush, so I've just got a tiny little bit on my hand. You really don't need a lot when it comes to this, and I'm going to just get some on my finger and just dab that on, and I'm bringing it quite high up on my cheeks as well, and I'm going to put a tiny bit on my nose, and just, I like to blend it out with my fingers. I know that you can do it other ways, but I just think it works best this way. And I think mixed in with the Skin Dew, it just sits on the skin really nicely. And again, just blending that in with my fingers. I think blending these kind of blushes in works best like this, just because you're kind of pushing it into the skin. And I'm just going to tap that on. But that is all the cream products. So what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to set my face just with only cream products. So I'm just going to use my all-nighter setting spray. And then to set my under eyes, I'm going to go in with the Modern Powder Perfector, and I have the shade Light. So this is the lightest one that they offer. And I like to go in with my powders on a sponge and just press that into my under eye. I'm kind of going back into loving pressed powders instead of loose powders. The pressed one, I feel like just you only really kind of put on what you need, whereas with when I was using loose powders, I felt like my face was just really drying out. I'm also just putting it anywhere I've used concealer, so like kind of under my chin, on my forehead. And even then, even with the powder, you can see my skin is still glowy. It's just my under eyes are now all matte. I'm gonna do my skin products first though before I do my eyes. So I'm now gonna go in with my Vieve bronzer. So I have the Modern bronzer again in the shade Light. So this is the lightest one that they offer. And I like to mix both of them. If I'm only using one, I tend to use the colder one. But for today, it's quite warm outside. I'm kind of hoping for a nice like kind of summer, spring vibe. So I'm going to mix both just so my skin is a little bit warmer. And I'm just going to lightly brush that onto my cheeks. And it mixes so nice with the blush balm. And I just think it sits on the skin really nicely. And then some just on my forehead, my nose, and just my jawline as well. But I just think that one sits so nicely on the skin, and it just blends quite nice with the blush balm. And then I'm going to go in with my Sunset blush in Cherry as well, just to go with my blush balm. And again, I like the pink. I just think it's a really nice kind of spring summer vibe. And I like to keep my blush quite high up on my cheekbones just because I've got a bit of a rounder face, so if I keep it quite high up, it kind of makes my face look a bit longer. And then what I like to do once I've put on my blush is just kind of go in with my bronzer and just kind of calm it down a little bit. But I think that looks super cute, and still you can still see that glow underneath my skin with the Skin Dew. The Skin Nova as well keeps my, I really like that primer. It keeps my skin really hydrated, but also I feel like I have quite dull skin, so it does kind of brighten it, which I really like. But for highlight, I'm going to go in with my highlighter Bijou. I do think this is actually the lightest highlighter that they have, or had when I last bought one. It is so good though, and I just like to bring that kind of over my blush. And then just around my eyes as well. And I like to kind of find the highest point on my cheek, so that's here, so that no matter kind of where I look, the highlighter, the sun or the light will hit the highlighter. And again, just bring that around my eye. I have a little bit on my nose and the bridge and my lip. And that is pretty much my skin done. I just think it's a super nice glowy look. Really not natural, but my kind of natural, because I don't know, I think I really like how my skin still looks like skin. Obviously You can tell when someone's got makeup on, it's kind of obvious. But I just like how all the products kind of layer together. I always think they look super nice. I love how pigmented everything is, but I do love the primer. I think it makes my skin still look really kind of bright and things, because I do have kind of dull skin. I've got really pale skin, so sometimes like kind of having that brightening primer does help. And then the blush balm, if I tend to use this actually if I'm not wearing any makeup, or if I'm only wearing a little bit of makeup, so I'll wear this, maybe some concealer and mascara, and it does look so nice on its own, but it also layers with the powder really nicely, and the powder products sit really nicely on top of it. So this is definitely one of my go-tos. I do love it so much. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go do my eyebrows off camera, and then I'll be back to do my eyes. So I've done this eye off camera using my Vieve Essentials palette. So I'm just going to show you how to do this. It's a super easy kind of summer spring vibe. I'm only using kind of 3-4 colours, so it's super easy to do. So for the first colour, I'm going to go in with Cozy, this kind of orangey shade, on a fluffy brush. And all I'm doing is just keeping that to the outer corner and just bringing it into kind of flick. And just bringing that around a little bit, but keeping it kind of concentrated like in the outer corner, or the outer third anyway. And then going in with Chow, this kind of brighter orange. I'm going to go in with a even fluffier brush and just blend that into the middle, like the middle third and the inner third of my eye, and just blend that in. And then I'm just going to go back in with Cozy just to kind of darken that up again. And then I'm also bringing Cozy down to my under eye and my, like, kind of right at my lash line. I'm bringing that kind of right into the middle of my under eye. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do with those colours. I'm then going to go in with Delicious. So it is a darker brown, but it's warmer than Lava Rock. So I'm going to go in with Delicious and just on a tiny brush and just bring that into my outer corner just to darken up my lash line. And I'm also just going to bring that under as well. It's just to make it slightly darker. And I'm just going to go back in with the brush that had Cozy on it, not putting any more product on it. I'm just blending everything with that. And again, if you feel like you need to darken up any colours or like kind of make them a bit more pigmented, just go back in with the brush that had that colour on it. I'm then going to go in with my shimmer, so I'm going to go in with Glimmer here. So it's the lightest shimmer. It just looks better, I think, on my skin. And I'm just going into all over the lid with this. Or, well, the inner third of the lid and kind of into the middle. I'm also going to bring that into my inner corner here and my bottom lash line here. But I'm just bringing it in like that. Going back in with the one that had Chow on it just to kind of blend that out. And that is pretty much the eyeshadow done. It's a super simple look, super easy, just very summery, and I really like it. I really like these colours together, and I think they look really nice on my, like with my eye colour. And then what I'm going to do is using my Vieve Power Ink Liner, I'm going to do my liner. So I'm just drawing a kind of guideline here, just trying to make it as symmetrical as possible, and then just bringing that, oops, and I'm just going to connect that to my lash line. This eyeliner tip is super thin, so it is quite easy to get right into the lash line for a really thin line. They're actually pretty equal. I just need to thin this out a little. Yeah, they're actually pretty equal, so I'm quite happy with that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this to my inner corner. And I've just done a small little line here just to make my eyes a bit longer. And I've just connected here as well just to keep the lash line kind of dark. But that is all I'm going to do for my eyes. I'm going to put on mascara and maybe eyelashes. I'm going to see how I feel. I actually think I'll get away with not wearing any eyelashes. Because I do have a driving lesson today and I need to wear my glasses. So I might actually not put lashes on because I don't really like wearing lashes with my glasses. So I might just put on mascara and go into my lips. So I decided to actually put on some lashes. I just think it looks a bit better. So what I'm going to do now is my lips. So for my lip liner, I'm going in with the Vieve Modern Lip Definer in Bewitched. So this is quite a dark shade. I'm going to go for a bit of a darker lip. And I like to just kind of blend that in. And the same, just kind of blend that in. And I think I'm going to go in with this shade Brat. I'm going to see how I feel with it. If I don't like it, then I'm going to change it, but I'm going to see how I feel. Oh, okay, no, I think that's quite nice. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. It just it almost kind of neutralised the kind of purple lip, like kind of purple vibes of the lip liner. I think that's actually really nice, the dark lip with these eyes. And again, just to finish off, I'm just going to put on my all-nighter setting spray. But that is the finished look. I'm going to go finish getting ready and then I'll be back. So this is the finished look. I've kind of let my makeup sit for a little bit and I still think it's super nice. But I just love all the Vieve products and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It really means the world to me and it really helps my channel. All my social medias are linked down below and I'll see you next week. Bye!